do we do? I should quarterly here. I'll either do it here or here. Actually, wait, this is gonna do... It'll grow when this hits phase. This does 7 and 8 and 1. Oh, it is lethal. Is this lethal because the ducky grows? 7, 8 is 15 and 1. Unless he California rolls, we win with this ducky here. Go, ducky! Roll a 2, that's fine. Making content for you guys is a full-time job, and it's only possible with your support. Click the link in the description to join my Patreon for access to exclusive streams, deep fry podcasts, private video calls, and more. What's going on, everybody? This is Fry. So today I'm really happy to announce that every major game-breaking bug in PvZ Heroes patch has been fixed. So I just want to start off this video by giving a huge shout out to whoever you are, whether you are a technician or a little team that is working on the game and giving us this balance patch, and not only giving us new content that we've been waiting for years, but also fixing some of the bugs that are inevitably going to come up. Huge shout out to you. Thank you so much. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and we really appreciate you. Now, I'm going to go through the changes that have happened. We're going to start off with some actual buffs and nerfs. So it looks like not only are the bugs being patched, but even there's someone looking at win rates of cards and seeing things that are too strong and too weak and making some changes there. So hopefully this could mean that even if we're not going to get a set 5, maybe every few months, maybe in a few months' time, we'll actually get a new balance patch that will shake up the meta again and really keep the content and keep the game fresh. That would be amazing. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to start off with Mimegarg. So Mimegarg got first of all, a nerf from 5-7 to 5-6. It has less health. And there's another thing that seems to be bugged in Mimegarg. It says untrickable here, but if you notice, the health does not have the untrickable frame around it, like you'll see with Parasol Zombie. And it turns out that Mimegarg, even though it says untrickable on the card, is no longer untrickable. Maybe that was too strong, maybe this is just a glitch, because it still says untrickable on the card, so we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully at least the card and what it says will be consistent. So that was the first change. We're going to move on to the Beastly class. Here's a very bizarre one that's hard to understand. Cat Lady has been done dirty. This has gone from 5 health down to 3 health. Now remember, before the balance patch, Cat Lady was at 4 health. But it seems like it turns out that Cat Lady, with the other, I'm guessing this is the explanation, that with the other tuning that has happened, with the buff with Zookeeper, which is the, a pet synergy card that got a really significant buff, and I think even more importantly is Lunchbox. I gotta show you guys the new version of OTK Cat Lady. It's really, really nasty. So it could be that Cat Lady was just being way too explosive and overwinning. So not only was this not given the extra 1 health buff, but it made more sense to remove some health from it. I think there is some logic there, even though this is a little bit bizarre. Another bizarre change that we see in the Crazy class is Cakesplosion. So this came into the realm of viability by making it a 3-cost card, and all of a sudden this is back to 4 now, the way it was post balance patch, and it looks like it is not going to be a playable card anymore. I really don't think the 3-cost Cakesplosion, especially since we have 3-cost Sizzle on the other side, was too much of a buff. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. It's just very, very strange. I wonder if this was just some code that was copied and pasted and accidentally reverted back to its old stats, because I really have no way of explaining it other than that. I can't imagine 3-cost Cakesplosion being that overpowered, but who knows? A really, really significant buff now to the Guardian class is that Photosynthesizer that had been changed from a 1-cost to a 2-cost is now back to 1-cost, and this is an extremely, extremely powerful card. Now, Triceratops is still a 1-2. Thankfully, this did not get reverted, so this is definitely going to be a very big hit to the early game tempo. However, Triceratops, when Photosynthesizer does cost 1, Triceratops gets a lot better, because that's a way you can just play this on the Triceratops, and it goes up from that little tiny health pool to being, even 1 Photosynthesizer on a Triceratops will now make this into a 2-5, which is a very difficult card to remove. So I do think that we are going to be seeing a resurgence of early game tempo in Guardian, but the most oppressive card has been nerfed very significantly. Still dies if you spam this dry on turn 2. It's going to die to Bungee Plumber into Extinction Event and everything, and beam me up everything else that can do 2 damage on turn 2. So you're mostly going to be playing your Triceratops now on turn 3 with a Photosynthesizer. That's how the card's going to be played, slowing down the oppressive Guardian early game rush. Like that. Another change that has been made is to Solar Flare Superpower. Now, if you just read it, it still says what it was changed to with the balance patch, that's doing 2 damage and you get 2 sun immediately that turn. That was resulting in some combos like playing a turn 1 Twin Sunflower or a turn 1 Seedling of some really strong early game. Now this has actually been reverted to the way it was before the balance patch. So this is going to do 2 damage, doesn't give you any sun that turn, but the following turns for the rest of the game you will be gaining 1 extra sun. The card has not been changed. Again, I'm wondering why the text hasn't been changed, even though the ability has been reverted back. So we'll see how that resolves itself. Either the mistake is in the text now, or it's going to be in the ability itself. We'll see what happens with that. I'm guessing one of those, that's going to become consistent in one way or another. So that was the intentional changes. The cards that will actually have a very different function now, those were the balance changes. So now we're going to talk about bugs. So the number 1 bug that was in the game, and I covered that in my last video, if you want to see examples of that, if you missed it, was the King bug. This was making zombies, any zombie you play on the board, into a knight when you play it onto the board, even if the zombie king isn't even on the board, even if it's just in your hand. So that has been fixed. That's a really good news for plant decks, because that was a little bit nuts, the fact that it seems like a lot of people were abusing that bug in ranked mode. So this has been fixed. The next is Shield Crusher Viking. This has been the second to biggest, really game-breaking, frustrating, not fair bug that was in the game. This has also been fixed. This was, again, activating for other zombies hitting your opponent's face, even while Shield Crusher Viking is in hand, and the days of that bug are completely over. The Shield Crusher Viking now will activate when it's played itself, when it itself hits your opponent's face, but it won't be affecting anything, any other zombies, or especially when this is just sitting in your hand. So I'm really happy that is fixed. Now, Nibble has been fixed, and it still is a little bit glitchy, but it's nothing too game-breaking in my opinion. So this does now what it says, is that a plant gets -1/1. It does not heal like it used to. After the balance patch, the heal is completely gone, and this has to destroy a plant in order to conjure the gourmet card. You even see a little extra Nibble animation when it does that ability, which is really cool. So the bug that is applying to Nibble now is that if you kill a plant that has an on-death ability, like Sunflower Seed that will make a sunflower when it dies, or Atomic Pomegranate that makes Seedling when it dies, the game does soft lock. So that is a pretty rare occurrence, but this does actually have in it now a game-breaking bug, so hopefully that will get worked out. It seems like Nibble, it says here, this is just a little update that was just added, is that Nibble is only conjuring gourmet cards that cost 3 or less. I guess someone must have, just been testing Nibble and seeing that it's only going to be conjuring these cheap gourmet cards, which actually is a good thing, because the cards you really don't want to get from Nibble are like Garg Feast as a gourmet card, and King of the Grill is often going to be useless. So getting always the healthy treats and the sugary treats and the leftovers and stuff like that is actually probably a huge buff for Nibble. So we'll see how that goes, and that will probably again get another fix because it is bugged. Hippity Hop Garg is the next card that was fixed. So this was trying to make eggs in random lanes that already had zombies in it, so that has been fixed. So this will always be throwing an egg, not only when it's played, but also when it's hurt. It seems like also when this is popping out of a gravestone, it wasn't making the egg successfully, but now it is. So this card really seems like it's been completely fixed. So Nurse Garg, which was, I would say, the third game-breaking bug. This was applying to all Gargs on the board while this is in your hand. That has been completely fixed. It's not doing that anymore. There was another bug that came up that when the Nurse Guard was getting hurt, it was healing. It doesn't do that anymore. There is one last bug in Nurse Guard, is that it's not working when the Nurse Guard attacks a plant. The Nurse Guard itself only has to attack face in order for it to get the heal. Other guards that are on the board can attack both a plant or your opponent's face, and they will be getting the heal. This, again, heal is applying to all guards as long as Nurse Guard is in play, not when it's in your hand. So there is, seems like one last bug here of Nurse Guard to be worked out. But again, at least we don't have these soft lock, game-breaking, you have a Nurse Guard in your hand and now your Mime Guard that's on the board is healing. So that is definitely overall better. Next, we got Mime Guard covered, that it really doesn't have Untrickable anymore. So hopefully that will become consistent. We got the Solar Flare Super the text hasn't been changed. Deep Sea Guard. So, Deep Sea Guard, if you just look at what it says, right now Deep Sea Guard is buffing itself when it's played. So when you play the Deep Sea Guard, it will go from 6 stats to 7 stats. When the Deep Sea Guard moves now, it's not getting buffed, so this definitely is still bugged, because it's supposed to be when any zombie, I think any zombie that you play onto the board is still getting the buff, and any other zombie that's moving is also getting the buff. Just Deep Sea Guard itself, since it has Hunt, it's going to be hunting. It's not buffing itself while it's moving, so that's just a little bug. I can't wait till this card is like fully resolved, because this is a really interesting card I want to build some decks around. All right, here's some really good and important fun ones here. We got the regifting zombie has finally been fixed. So this says it's supposed to conjure a zombie, and it is successfully conjuring zombies. It's not drawing them from your deck now. So this will be, again, conjuring you a random card. This will be a really cool synergy, let's say, with Space Time, if you're Super Brains or you're Gigantacus, because it does have Conjure, and the conjured card gets +1/1, and your opponent's conjured card gets -1/-1, which is really awesome. We also have Wormhole Gatekeeper, another conjure card. This was also drawing cards instead of conjuring. It is conjuring cards. The cards it conjures are costing 1 less. What the text says is cards either player conjures cost 1 less, which kind of sounds like Space Time. This is another one where the card might not actually be written correctly. I don't know if the intention of Wormhole Gatekeeper was to make every single card you conjure during either player conjures in the game always cost 1 less. It could be it's just the card that it is conjuring, but that's what it's doing. The cards that this conjures cost 1 less for both players, and any other cards conjured by both players still cost their exact same amount, but at least this is conjuring, and it does have the space-time synergy therefore. So quarterly bonus has been fixed. This is adding 4 attack to a guy, to anything on the field, and that zombie will do a bonus attack. And it used to be a bug where a random zombie would do a bonus attack, not necessarily the one you play the quarterly bonus. Now it is actually focused, the zombie that gets the 4 attack, that's the one that's going to be doing the bonus attack. This is a really strong card. Adding 4 attack and a bonus attack immediately, I mean, that's basically like Captain Combustible Super and Time to Shine all in one card. I mean, this is a huge finisher. This is going to be just as auto-include in the Brainy classes going viral, let's say, is, or Plant Food is in the Hardy or the Mega Girl class. Now, people are saying this card is bugged because the description really does not match what it does, because it says strength of a zombie becomes 4. It doesn't say that you're adding 4 attack, it says it just becomes 4 total. But what this really effectively is doing is always adding 4 attack, so if a zombie has 5 attack, it'll just increase it to 9. Now, I'm not 100% sure that this is actually a bug per se. I think it actually is just miswritten on the card, and I'll show you exactly why I think that. If you look up on Google, PvZ Heroes Update, EA, December 2024, you will see that they, describe the balance patch in their post, and in the post it says Pirate's Booty is name changed to quarterly bonus. It grants a zombie 4 strength and a bonus attack. So it sounds like the way they're describing this here is that the way quarterly bonus, this really strong finisher, is actually working as intended, and it's just a typo, let's say, in the card. It's written, very unclearly. It doesn't really match the what it does, but it sounds like this is actually what the card is supposed to do. Again, this to me really seems like super overpowered, so we'll see how that goes. Next, we are going to move right along. And for the last thing, it's Huge Gigantacus' superpower. So this was not affecting tricks, it was only affecting environments. Now it is, again, conjuring an environment and trick, making all the zombies, environments, and tricks cost 1 less. The bug that remains, this is also making the plants, environments, and tricks that they have in their hand is also costing 1 less. It's certainly not supposed to do that. So hopefully, again, the Terraformer 10,000 bug will finally be patched and we can have some fun playing Huge Gigantacus decks again. Anyway, guys, that is all of the changes for now. If you want to see more PvZ Heroes updates, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. This is Fry. So, now what I want to do is actually do some gameplay with some of the cards that have been changed. Here is the deck that I am going to use, and let's just hop into some games here. So this is going to be the Conjure Leap 4 deck. I don't know which iteration of Conjure Leap we're up to, but it's going to be really fun to use Space Time, which will make any card you conjure cost 1 less, together with your buffed cards from Regifter, which again is conjuring, so it's a direct synergy with Space Time. You can play this the next turn. We're also running the Wormhole Gatekeeper, which is going to be conjuring cards. So they'll cost 2 less if you have a Space Time on the board, 1 less if you just have the Wormhole Gatekeeper, which is still synergy because you'll have that 1 less card that you can leap now. So you're playing it, it's a 5-cost card, you're playing it for 4, and you're leaping it into a 6. And then we also have the Shield Crusher Viking. I can finally run this card. I'm really interested in this because, again, when you play this, it drains the opponent block meter. I think this combined with Quarterly Bonus, which is just a huge finisher. Just run this 4 copies of this in every Brainy deck, like for real. You know, draining their block meter and then doing a huge bonus attack with anything, I think it's going to be a good finisher. Let's see how this deck comes together. Of course, we're just running Buried Treasure for a 1-drop and a way to also get a cheap legendary card that you can leap, and we're running some Barrel of Barrels for removal. I really tried to make the deck like as trick and environment heavy as possible, so that's going to be like almost half the deck. Tricks and environments, again, because of Terraformer, it is making your tricks and your environments cost 1 less. That's why I'm running like Teleport instead of Teleportation Zombie. I think having some free teleports will be really fun, so let's get into these games here. We'll have time for 3 games right now. And of course, we are going to initiate the most important part of streams, the reason you guys will come here, gambling. So, if you think we're going to win 2 out of 3 games, 2 out of 3 games is a yes, 1 out of 3 is a no. Over here at the live stream, twitch.tv/FryEmUp, where we have a serious problem. So again, 2 out of 3 is a yes, 1 out of 3 is a no. Here we go. Let's get it. Alright, so we have 2 Space Times, we have a 1-drop, and a Quarterly Bonus. This is all you need, guys. Here we go. So I'm going to do the environment on 1.
Hello.
Let's not do it into the Clickbee. I'm going to play this here. La-di-da-di-da. Quarterly Bonus should be 5. I think Quarterly Bonus should just say what it do what it says. I think adding that much attack and doing a bonus attack, I think even at 5 cost it would be OP, not gonna lie. Really OP. It's not. I think this is an extremely busted card. Alright, so now that Black IP is on the board, which by the way, the 2/2 stats, besides for all the other problems, it loses the Space Time and the Teleportation Zombie trait. Kinda nuts, actually. So we're gonna not go for the teleport here. Instead, we'll just play these dries, and the Black IP will just die. King in a Leap deck. 1 cost King, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Viking has been fixed. The bug. So we're gonna, again, able to run this in a deck, actually. Okay. A little bit of... Wow, this is so tempting. I'm doing it. This has to be right. This has to be right. It's killing Admiral Navy Bean, keeping Space Time alive, 1 damage to face, conjuring a card that costs 2 less. That's wild. That's a lot of value. Even though it's killing my environment. I don't care. I don't need it. So we can teleport King for 1 here if we want. I kind of want to just use the Quarterly, though. How do we do this? Well, we have Leap in hand, so we have to go for King. Yeah, we have to. There's no choice. Pass. There's no Banana anything here. Let's try to not get Shrinking Violeted. Okay, that's fine. I think we're giving up on that space-time anyway. This is wild. Please get the 1 in lane 1. That's a really big deal. Yes! And Weenie Beanie got team up. That's cute. So we're gonna go teleport. Honestly, we're covering our own environment again. Should I put this here? I'm gonna put this here. It's actually safe here. Oh no, the Weenie Beanie has team up. Whoops. Alright, so if you have this environment, how this is gonna work is it'll turn into night and then immediately turn into an Octo or a Plankwalker. So we are eating good. Yum, yum, yum. This happens end of turn, and then the leap happens at the beginning of turn. So this is a really, really good kind. I love getting king from in a Conjure Leap deck. Alright, well here's Plankwalker. Guys, it's time to play. Guess what turn it is? Get wrecked! Yes! That was harsh indeed. Honestly, I'm really, again, looking forward to what happens, how the Wormhole Gatekeeper gets resolved. I really hope what it does is actually eventually make every single Conjure card cost 1 less, because then the synergy of these Conjure decks, I mean, it's gonna really cook. You don't even have to do Conjure Wish HG anymore. You can just make it with any other Brainy Hero and build it around Wormhole Gatekeeper at that point. But especially with HG, when you have 4 space times, 4 Gatekeepers, that's gonna be a lot. Alright, so we are 1-0. Let's keep it going here. I talked my way smoothly through that BlueStacks crash. That was not as awkward as it could have been. It was totally awkward. I don't know what I'm saying. Here's a Wall Knight, and that's a hand. That's a hand right there. That's what I call a hand. I wonder if there's, like, you don't automatically spam HG Super on 1 anymore. I wonder if it's like... Is this going on YouTube? Likely. I wasn't sure if I was going to include this deck as part of the video or not. I think if this goes well, we'll include it, and if not, it won't. I hadn't really gotten an opportunity to test this deck. I've been working on a lot of other decks. So many decks I need to show you. These update videos have been kind of, if anything, getting in the way. Because it's just been a lot. I have to, especially with quarterly bonus fix now, there's some insane OTK decks with this. This is such a busted card. Alright, I'm not really sure what to do now. Like, we could go freeze. I'm just a little bit afraid of this now. I really wish I could play the environment here. We could teleport, look for a space-time maybe, try. I'm gonna actually do that. And maybe even like a leap would be good here together with freeze, depending on what the opponent plays here. Dude, alright. Well, let's see if we can find either a buried treasure or another space-time here and kill this. No, we didn't. Why was that teleport free? Wait, I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. Why was that free?
Lock in Fry.
Lock in indeed. Oh, it's from Buried Treasure. Thank you. Here we go. Thank you, Bibby. Thank you, Twilight Chomp, for gifted one from Chompzilla. So we got a 1-cost 2/3 Ducky. That's a strong card, man. So now what? 3 and 1? We could just go 4. I have a feeling the opponent's playing like a lot of control here. Leap is nice too. I like leaping these.
By the way, but I want to cut it short to ask Fry what his thoughts are on the drone.
Hold on, I'll read that in a second. I'm trying to concentrate. 3 and 1? 3 and 1? I don't think we need to strike through here. Let's do 3 and a Ducky, and this will be a really good target for the quarterly. To have this Ducky cooking in the water lane. Oh my gosh, we got Deep Sea Garg. All of a sudden, the one card I couldn't include in this deck was Deep Sea. Wait! It just says, oh no, it has a 7/7 buff from the regifter. It got 1/1. But I guess when we play this will be an 8/8 now. Now, if we don't block this turn, the Viking cooks. Maybe I shouldn't have played. Maybe I should have gone for strike through. Okay, something will. We're not having all three of these hitting face. The opponent will play something here. All right, so that's fine. And Ducky's gonna grow too. So now the opponent's gonna have the full block meter. So I think this is just the turn we spam Viking. Look at this now. Look how impactful this is. I think this card just works as intended now, right? Choo-choo, choo-choo. See, this used to not be a good play, because he'll block anyway. I can play this in one. He'll just shamrocket this. But now, even if this gets shamrocketed, the value that this has supplied to the board, oh my gosh, this Viking card is so good. I just want to go all pro. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a 7/2. Ouch. That's a lot. I just want to go old Professor Pay to Win now with Viking and Trickster, man. That is going to be such a good deck. We do have the freeze environment to take care of this. So we're fine here, even though we got down to 9. That was wild. We can't play this. We gotta go for Eagle. And then we're gonna go strike through environment and maybe leap or deadly. Either one. Even if he removes the 2/5 and goes for lethal, we have the freeze, so. Viking is fixed. It hasn't been activating while it was in our hands. So Viking is completely fixed card. I'm so happy because it's fun. I love it. Is he going face with this or not? Make your decision, boys. Okay, he's going with that. So it's gonna be you. And the most value, we could leap this. The biggest value is just a deadly here, I think. Let's think for next turn. All right, yeah, let's just go. Let's get this for, it would be like a 4/5 on the board. Let's take it out. This is the turn that we're really going to be looking the quarterly bonus, though. I brought the block, which I think is good now, because now, I mean, look, quarterly bonus, it does 14 in this lane. It does 12 in this lane. It doesn't actually win here, it'll only do 10. But it's still good with the strike through. We might just win straight up with quarterly bonus right now. Another deadly. Oh, we're also conjuring. Wow. This raptor is a big deal. Because it's clocking an extra lane now. So it's 2 and 4. We can also quarterly bonus this one. It's just whatever lane he gives us wins now. This is such a big deal, guys. Conjure Leap. Oh, we're going to do everything, guys. I'm telling you. Just one day at a time. There's some heals. Is he going to give me lane 1? No. Sky Shooter. This week. What? Where did this come from? Why did it not cost 1 less there? Oh, maybe it did. Okay, so now this will be doing 7 and 7. It's not lethal, which is awkward. How do we do? I should quarterly here. I'll either do it here or here. Actually, wait. This is going to do... It'll grow when this hits face. This does 7 and 8. And 1. Oh, it is lethal. Is this lethal because the ducky grows? 7, 8 is 15 and 1. Unless he California rolls, we win with this ducky here. Go, ducky! Roll a 2, that's fine. Do not roll a 3. It grew the 1 extra. No. Don't block. Don't block. Yes! Yes! Wow-wee! Ducky Tube, actual carry from Amphibious. That was crazy, man. Yes! Hell yeah, highlight, let's go. Is that the highlight intro? And that's the bets too. Damn, that kick, let's go. It was exact. That's crazy. Yeah, it is payout time. The answer is yes, right? We'll play one more game as promised. But it is payout. Cha-ching. Damn. Quarterly bonus is so busted. It's so busted. It's Blazing Bark Time to Shine in 1 card. I don't care it costs 4. I think at 6 it would still be really, really good. This is so nuts. Should we actually get like a leap game going? I'm just gonna keep these. La-di-da-di-da. Yeah, I only got time for a few games because we did the card review, and my my life is so busy. Busy AF. Okay, so he usually plays in this lane. Alright. So we'll have just space-time freeze into... We'll see what we draw. Turn 7 OTK is with bomb quarterly bonus. There's better OTKs than that. It's going to be one of the next decks I'll show you. Maybe I won't spoil it. But there's some really weird... That's a really good 2-for-1. Honestly, taking out a 1-drop and a superpower, that's a money right there for space-time, so... We are totally good with that. I like... well... Pros and cons of teleporting this in right now. I think the freeze is gonna get value here, because again, it's gonna be damaging through whatever he plays this turn. I guess there's Sizzle. Oh, I forgot about Sizzle. Okay, it looks like we're fine. If he draws a card, it plays a photosynthesizer, this dies next turn, but... And maybe I'll just leap it then. Honestly, we can pass now and leap this. He didn't have Sizzle. I should have teleported in to play around Sizzle. It's still something I gotta update my subconscious. And I like this play. We don't really have to Gatekeeper here anymore. And we're gonna be coming right up on turn 5 on this for this Viking. So 2 and then leap looks good here. Very likely leaping the space-time is gonna be correct if he draws the card and buffs these Dino Roars here. Yep. Astro Shroom. Who's running this? Interesting. Yep, these two go up. So this has got to be leap, and this only needs to have 2 attack. A 3-drop that has 2 attack. It's not too much to have. Alright, see you later. Now, it did give him these cards back in the hand, but we got... You know, he has slow cards, and we have a really, really highly impactful card. Now, he does have Astro Shroom on. Is this a good thing? I can't tell if this is a good thing. Like, we could even just freeze quarterly right now. This is so great. Maybe I'll Viking now and then do it? What is the play here? I love teleporting. I like teleporting Viking or playing at the same time as... How do we do this exactly? I think it's just going to be freeze quarterly right now. It causes the Viking to be bad, but... We can also teleport something in. Maybe it's teleport regifter freeze. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Alright. And this kind of wins this trade. There's no need to quarterly this one. So teleport. Regifter. And now the Viking actually slaps. We're not going to have our freeze anymore, but... We're giving him cards. Oh, one costs 3/3. We'll take those. And we'll use the freeze. Fry, you look like someone who would do a reaction channel on YouTube. Oh, do I look like the guy? Well, I have the beard. I don't really look like him other than that. There's this guy who has the long beard like me. What's his name? I forget. Yep, so this is, I mean, this is money. This is absolute money. This is so impactful. This draining this block meter it's the game. And we're gonna spam a 1 cost 3/3. Oh my gosh. Honestly, Regifter, I love this card. This might be my favorite card in the entire game right now. This is so cool. Can't wait until the Gatekeeper does what it says. I hope it does someday. I really hope it's not a card error. You know what I didn't do? I didn't look up Wormhole Gatekeeper. Conjures cards, cost 1 less, and it has signs that... See, here, guys, let me show you real quick what this says. Just to clarify, and this can be in the video here. I'm going to go to the screen really quick. This is what they wrote for Wormhole Gatekeeper. While this guy hits my face, the action's still on the screen. It says, conjures cards, the grammar is not correct here, cost 1 less, and it has the science subtype. It's always had the science subtype, so this is so weird. There is someone in EA who is very overworked with all of this and writing it up and stuff like this, clearly. But the way it's written here makes me think that it's not supposed to make every conjured card actually cost less. It's really supposed to just conjure its own cards that cost one less. It's not an extra space-time, which makes me a little bit sad. But anyway, back to the action. Maybe someday. I think there's a lot of cards, again, like Quarterly Bonus, that are just, the card itself is not written clearly. Quarterly wins, like, does it win? It does 14 here. It only does 11 in this lane. We have, like, Quarterly Leap, maybe? Well, it'll do 11 and 3 is 14. Oh, we're not quite there yet. Oh, he's gonna kill the Viking. Good play. I gave him that. So we could get him down to 1, and then we could leap this 3-1, I guess. Alright, let's do that. This is still huge. This is 14 damage. It's kind of OP. And then we'll leap this one. There's no point in leaping a 7-2 in a strike-through lane. Don't make sense. I think once it gets down to 3-1, it's probably worth leaping. A 2-drop will probably be better than a 3-1 overall. We just need one card to hit face now. Oh my gosh, we got the pot! Okay! Wow, what is going on right now? So we'll play you. I mean, maybe we should just try to get Quarterly Bonus from the pot? Let's see what we get here first. We have 3 cards going face for lethal here, man. This costs 1 now. This is just another threat. Honestly, the safest play is just to do this now. And we can still pot a gold for next turn. But now we have every lane clogged, so getting 8... I mean, I guess Kernel Corn wins, though. But Kernel Corn... okay, I probably should have played around Kernel Corn. Kernel Corn won't kill this, in which case we probably could have maybe gone second Quarterly. There's only 3 in the deck. So drawing 1 from 3 cards is not super likely. Alright, if he doesn't have Kernel Corn, this is definitely the safe play here. He's not going to OTK us with Astro Shroom. Ooh, he can heal, though. Now, I think we just want to roll a 3. Pot! Just in case. If we roll a 3, we basically win. We didn't get it anyway. Yes! Now he needs Meteor, or nothing else will do. Man, that was huge. No Meteor, yes! Guys, for a short gameplay session, that was as solid as it gets. Going 3-0 with Conjure Leap 4. Let's go! I can't wait to do the version of this deck that maybe runs like Mad Chemist as a card, another Conjure card, and Trick or Treater. There's so many options for Conjure, man. There's a mil. I'm over. I have a million decks to show you. I've tested already 5 more decks that I need to show you guys. And those are the ones that I've spent time on grinding and making sure, you know, making a deck list that like really works. But anyway, I was gonna run Wizard in this deck for leaps, but it's a little unreliable, and I really wanted to run Viking. That's why I took out last minute. I took the Wizard out for Viking, and the Viking slapped. I mean, the Viking carry. It was so... Viking first, then Quarterly Bonus. It's all you need, guys. It's such a high-value card, man, that it activates when played. I love this. I love... The philosophy, I can take this to the bank. The philosophy was make the big cards. They can die to Shamrocket, but just make them more impactful. Don't just be a bunch of stats. Essentially is what this was. Just a bunch of stats on the board that's with abilities that are really hard to activate. Just let them cook. And they are cooking, man. This was huge. In a deck like this, where you're pinging the block meter, hitting their face with space time. I mean, this was a big freaking deal, guys. But anyway, that is going to be all for the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace, this is Fry. Hell yeah. Subscribe, guys.